Let me tell you something that your eye doctor probably never mentioned. And honestly, it might change everything you thought you knew about why your vision is changing. Every single year after you turn 60, the proteins sitting inside your eye lens are quietly taking damage. And here's the part that genuinely blows my mind every time I think about it. Those proteins, they were built before you were even born. Inside the womb, your body manufactured them once, sealed them inside your lens, and then walked away forever. No replacements, no repairs, no backup crew. Those original proteins have to carry you through your entire life, every sunrise, every screen, every late night drive, for decades on end. And every year, they take more hits. They start clumping, sticking, tangling together like a pile of Christmas lights you've shoved in a box for 30 years. Slowly, silently, they transform what used to be a crystal clear window into something cloudy, something foggy, something that scatters incoming light instead of focusing it cleanly onto your retina. That foggy haze you notice in the morning when you first open your eyes, that's them. The halos blooming around headlights when you're driving at night, that's them. That filmy blur you blink and blink and blink at, and it never quite clears, that is your lens proteins breaking down. And by the time your eye doctor leans back in their chair and uses phrases like age-related and natural progression, that damage has been quietly building for 20 years. Maybe 30. And nobody, not one person, connected those dots for you until right now. So today I'm going to walk you through 6 seeds. 6 seeds that are sitting in grocery stores right now, probably within 5 miles of where you're sitting. Each one carries compounds that directly feed the protective chemistry your lens proteins are literally starving for. I've ranked every single one, from least impactful all the way up to the #1 combination that outperformed everything else across every single category I researched. And before we go any further, I need to warn you about #3 right now. The way most people are eating it, their bodies are absorbing almost nothing. We'll get there, stay with me. But first, before we touch a single seed, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your eyes. Because once this clicks, you'll understand exactly why these seeds work, and you'll understand why whatever you've been doing probably wasn't moving the needle the way you hoped. Here is the fact about your eye lens that almost nobody knows, and it is genuinely remarkable. Your lens has no blood supply, not reduced blood supply, not limited blood supply, none, 0. Your lens is completely deliberately isolated from your entire circulatory system. No oxygen flowing in, no repair teams being dispatched, no replacement molecules being shipped to the site. Your lens runs entirely on its own internal chemistry, a closed system, for the full span of your life. The molecule that runs that chemistry is called glutathione. And in a young, healthy lens, glutathione is absolutely everywhere, some of the highest concentrations found anywhere in the human body. As long as glutathione stays high, your lens proteins stay clean. They stay properly separated. They stay transparent. Light cuts straight through without scattering. Everything looks crisp and vivid and real. But here's what published research confirmed, and what almost nobody in popular health media is talking about. In your 50s, a physical barrier begins forming around the core of your lens, the nucleus. And that barrier starts cutting off glutathione supply to the very center of your lens, the exact spot where the most destructive cataracts develop. The core of your lens begins running out of its primary protective molecule while you still feel completely fine, while you have zero symptoms, while you're reading just fine and driving just fine and thinking your eyes are doing okay. And without that glutathione shield, the proteins start to fold, unfold, tangle, clump, scatter light instead of focusing it. Your eye doctor looks at the scan and says, "This is just aging." And they're not wrong about the process. What they don't tell you, what almost nobody tells you, is that this process, the glutathione loss, the protein clumping, the oxidative damage spreading quietly through your lens, is directly influenced by what you eat, by specific antioxidants, by specific fatty acids, by compounds found inside 6 seeds that most people walk straight past at the grocery store without a second glance. Here's a number I want you to sit with for a second. Cataract surgery is the single most performed surgery on the entire planet. Researchers calculated that delaying cataract onset by just 10 years could cut its incidence in half. Half the surgeries, half the recoveries, half the cost. And almost nobody is talking about the dietary compounds that support the exact biology that makes that delay possible. That is what today is about. Let's start at number 6, sesame seeds. And before you roll your eyes or start skipping ahead, there is one thing about sesame seeds that virtually nobody tells you, and it's quietly costing you a meaningful portion of what these tiny seeds actually contain. Sesame seeds carry zinc, and your retina depends on zinc to activate the enzymes that protect your photoreceptors and to pull vitamin A from your liver directly into your eye tissue. They carry copper, they carry vitamin E, real nutrients, real eye-supporting compounds with real research behind them. But here is the problem. Sesame seeds are loaded with something called phytic acid. And phytic acid does one very specific, very inconvenient thing inside your gut. It grabs minerals, zinc, copper, all the good stuff these seeds contain, and it physically binds them before your gut wall can absorb them. You chew, you swallow, you feel like you're nourishing your eyes, and a meaningful portion of those minerals passes straight through you like you never ate them at all. The fix takes 3 minutes and costs you absolutely nothing extra. Dry roast them, medium heat pan, 3 minutes. Wait for that warm, nutty aroma to rise up. You'll know it immediately when it hits. That heat breaks down the phytic acid. It unlocks the minerals. Now your body can actually absorb what you paid for and what you came for. Small handful of toasted sesame seeds on a salad, on your eggs, sprinkled on anything. About $2 a month. But I need to be completely honest with you here. Sesame seeds are a floor. They help keep you from losing ground faster than you already are. They are not turning anything around by themselves. The seeds higher on this list are playing an entirely different game. Score, 3 out of 10, number 5, pumpkin seeds. And this one is going to genuinely bother anyone who's been eating them faithfully for years under the impression they were doing everything right. Pumpkin seeds contain 2 compounds that Harvard researchers confirmed travel directly to one very specific part of your eye. Not the whole eye, one precise location, the macula, the center of your visual field. The part responsible for reading, for recognizing faces, for driving, for everything you look at directly when you're paying attention. The part that starts declining first. Those 2 compounds are lutein and zeaxanthin. Decades of large-scale research have linked higher intake of these 2 carotenoids to significantly lower risk of macular degeneration progressing. Your macula is actually yellow because of these compounds. Your eye literally concentrates them there on purpose. Your visual system is architecturally designed to collect them. Pumpkin seeds are also one of the highest zinc per ounce sources in the entire seed category. So here's the part that's going to bother you. If you've been eating pumpkin seeds out of a bag, roasted, raw, salted, any version off the shelf, you've been getting maybe half of what's actually inside them. Because pumpkin seeds carry even heavier phytic acid loads than sesame seeds. And until you break that coating down, the lutein, the zeaxanthin, the zinc, locked up, passing through, wasted. The preparation is almost insultingly simple, and I want you to realize that. The night before, bowl of water, your pumpkin seeds, squeeze half a lemon in, stir once, and walk away for 8 hours. The citric acid from that lemon chemically dismantles the phytic acid coating overnight. Morning comes, drain them, rinse them, eat them as is, or spread them on a baking sheet and dry them in a low oven. That's it. Score, 4.5 out of 10. Number 4, and this is the one that genuinely frustrates me when I look at what's getting attention in nutrition conversations right now. Hemp seeds. While everyone on the internet is locked in an endless argument about flax versus chia, hemp seeds are sitting right there on the shelf, quietly delivering something that no other seed on this entire list can match on its own. Here's the biology you need. Your retina is neural tissue, the same type of cells as your brain, the same vulnerabilities, the same sensitivities, and those cells are acutely sensitive to something called chronic low-level inflammation, the kind that doesn't feel like inflammation, the kind that never announces itself with pain or redness, the kind that just slowly degrades cellular function over years. When that inflammation reaches your retinal layers, cell membranes weaken, signal transmission slows. Your vision begins degrading in ways that no standard eye chart catches until the damage is already real and already accumulating. The single most critical nutritional variable in controlling that inflammation is the ratio between 2 types of fat in your diet, omega-6 and omega-3. Modern Western diets run that ratio somewhere between 15 and 20 to 1, overwhelmingly omega-6. Researchers believe the human body operates optimally somewhere around 3 or 4 to 1. That gap between where most people are living and where the body wants to be creates a low-level inflammatory environment throughout your entire body, including inside your eyes, every single day. Hemp seeds have a naturally occurring omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of approximately 3 to 1. No other common seed you can walk into a grocery store and purchase comes anywhere close to that optimal ratio. A large meta-analysis reviewing 19 randomized controlled trials and more than 4,000 patients confirmed that correcting this fatty acid imbalance produces measurable reductions in the inflammatory markers that drive dry eye disease. The chronic burning, the dryness, the gritty, sandy irritation that worsens as the day wears on. Score, 7.5 out of 10. Number 3, and I promised you a warning at the very beginning, this is it. Chia seeds. Specifically, the way nearly everyone eating them right now is extracting almost nothing from them. Let's start with the biology, because it matters. Your retina is not just near DHA, it is structurally built from it. DHA, the long-chain omega-3 fatty acid, makes up a major architectural portion of the tissue your vision actually depends on. And when DHA is chronically undersupplied, that tissue doesn't collapse overnight. It erodes, slowly, quietly. Cell membranes weaken. The structural integrity of your retinal layers degrades over years while your life continues as normal. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant sources of ALA, the plant form omega-3 that your body converts into DHA. A large meta-analysis of 19 randomized trials confirmed that omega-3 intake measurably improves tear film breakup time, the scientific measurement of how quickly your eye surface dries out between blinks. When that number is low, every blink feels incomplete. That burning, that grittiness, that persistent sensation that something is in your eye that never fully goes away. That's tear film instability, and omega-3 intake moves that number. Now here is what's been silently wasted for millions of people eating chia seeds every morning with real intention and real commitment. If you eat chia seeds whole, sprinkled into smoothies, stirred into oatmeal, swallowed as a gel, the outer shell of the seed resists your digestive enzymes. Those seeds pass through your digestive system largely intact. You absorb a fraction of what you consumed. You are eating the package, not the contents. You must grind them. Coffee grinder, 10 seconds. That's all it takes. But here's the second part that almost nobody gets right. You cannot grind them in advance. You cannot buy a pre-ground bag from the store. Once a chia seed is cracked open and exposed to air, those omega-3 fatty acids begin oxidizing immediately, degrading, losing potency, transforming from something beneficial into something your body has to process as damaged fat. A pre-ground bag sitting in someone's pantry for 3 weeks may have lost the majority of its potency before you ever opened the seal. Grind them yourself that morning, right before you eat them, and then pair them with fat in the same meal. Because DHA is fat soluble, and without a fat source present, absorption drops significantly. A tablespoon of coconut oil in your smoothie, a drizzle of olive oil over whatever you're eating, half an avocado on the side. Any quality fat, same meal, same time, freshly ground with fat immediately. Within 1 to 2 weeks, most people notice the morning dryness starts easing. The day doesn't grind against your eyes by 3 in the afternoon the way it used to. The structural retinal work takes 60 to 90 days, but the surface relief, that can arrive fast, sometimes within the first week. Score, 8 out of 10. Number 2, and this one surprised me more than almost anything else when I went deep into the research. Freshly ground flaxseed paired with avocado. Flaxseed contains more alpha-linolenic acid per gram than any other plant source on earth. More than chia, more than hemp, more than anything else on this entire list. 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flax delivers roughly 2,300 milligrams of plant omega-3. Chia delivers approximately 1,700 for the same quantity. Every single day, that difference compounds into your biology. The Women's Health Study, one of the largest and longest-running nutritional studies ever conducted, following nearly 40,000 women, found that higher dietary omega-3 intake was significantly associated with reduced risk of dry eye syndrome. Flaxseed is the most concentrated way to reach that intake level from food alone. The avocado is not a garnish. It is not optional. It is not a side dish. Omega-3 fatty acids are fat soluble. They require fat present in the same meal for your intestinal wall to properly absorb them. The monounsaturated oleic acid in avocado has been specifically identified in nutritional bioavailability research as one of the most effective fat sources for improving absorption of fat-soluble compounds. That avocado is not accompanying the flaxseed, it is unlocking it. 2 rules, both completely non-negotiable. Rule 1, grind it fresh that morning, not the night before, not from a pre-ground bag. Whole flax seeds into a coffee grinder, 10 seconds, right before you eat. Rule 2, eat it within 15 minutes. The clock is running from the moment you grind. Oxidation doesn't wait for you. 2 tablespoons on half a ripe avocado every morning. That's the entire protocol. The only reason this sits at number 2 and not number 1, the top seed on this list does something flaxseed physically cannot do. It delivers an antioxidant that your body actively regenerates inside your lens tissue for hours after a single serving. And when you understand how that works, you'll understand why nothing else competes. Score, 9 out of 10. Number 1, the seed that topped every single category, the combination that outperformed everything else I looked at, raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, 1/4 of a ripe avocado, fresh lemon juice squeezed directly over everything, all 3 together, every single morning. Here's why this wins. Sunflower seeds carry more vitamin E per ounce than virtually any food you can walk into a grocery store and purchase right now. 1 ounce, a small, relaxed handful, delivers close to half your daily recommended intake of alpha tocopherol. That specific form of vitamin E your body absorbs first and puts to use most efficiently. And vitamin E is not general, vague nutrition for your eyes. It is targeted, precise, mechanistic. It positions itself inside the membranes of your lens fiber cells, the very cells housing those original proteins made before you were born, the ones that can never be replaced, the ones that have to last your entire life. Vitamin E sits inside those membranes and intercepts oxidative damage before it ever reaches those proteins. It stands between the free radicals and the most irreplaceable tissue in your body. A meta-analysis published in Public Health Nutrition, pooling data from multiple cohort studies and clinical trials, found that dietary vitamin E intake was significantly associated with reduced risk of age-related cataracts. The protection was strongest in the lens nucleus, the core, exactly where the damage accumulates over the longest period of time. Exactly where that protective barrier starts cutting off glutathione in your 50s. Exactly where you need it most. Now the avocado. Vitamin E is fat-soluble. Without dietary fat present in the same meal, a substantial portion of what you consumed passes through before your body can absorb it. The monounsaturated oleic acid in avocado is the optimal delivery mechanism. Without it, you lose most of the benefit before it ever arrives at your eyes. But the lemon is what elevates this combination above everything else on this list. And I want you to understand the exact mechanism because it's genuinely remarkable. When a vitamin E molecule neutralizes a free radical inside your lens, which is its entire purpose, its entire job, it gets oxidized in that process, used up, spent. Normally, it's finished, done. The molecule is retired. Vitamin C changes that completely. Research on the interaction between vitamin C and vitamin E has confirmed that vitamin C takes that spent, oxidized vitamin E molecule and biochemically reduces it back to its active form. It regenerates it, reactivates it. Your one serving of vitamin E keeps working, actively, continuously, for hours instead of minutes. One dose, one meal, recycling itself inside your lens tissue for the rest of the morning. You are not just delivering an antioxidant, you are constructing a self-sustaining system that keeps working long after the meal is over. That is why this combination sits alone at the top of this list, and it costs less than 85 cents per serving. Your exact protocol, write this down right now. 1 ounce of raw, unsalted, shelled sunflower seeds. 1/4 of a ripe avocado. Juice of half a fresh lemon squeezed directly over everything. Eat all 3 together. Same meal, same time. Every single morning without exception. Check the ingredient label on your sunflower seeds before you buy them. There should be one ingredient, sunflower seeds. If there is anything else on that label, oil, salt, flavoring, anything, put it back and find a different bag. Here is what consistent daily use actually feels like as it unfolds. In the first 3 days, the heavy, gritty, exhausted feeling your eyes carry by evening starts to ease. That feeling you've quietly accepted as just what eyes feel like after a long day, like they've been working too hard and earned their tiredness, that feeling begins to lift, just a little, just enough to notice. By the end of the first week, morning blurriness softens. The fog when you first open your eyes clears faster, noticeably faster. By 2 to 3 weeks, reading labels, phone screens, menus in dim restaurants, less squinting. Sharper at close range, the effort drops. By 90 days, the halos around headlights at night start calming down. Contrast sharpens. Colors appear slightly more vivid than they have in years. And some people come back from their routine eye appointment, and their optometrist quietly notes that the numbers didn't move the way they expected. Not dramatically, but not the way they were moving before. 90 days is the structural window. Dry eye relief arrives faster, sometimes within the first week. But the deeper lens work, the protection of those original proteins, that takes time. That is the nature of the biology. One important caution. Sunflower seeds are relatively high in omega-6. The dose is 1 ounce per day. That is the precise dose. Not 2, not a full cup out of habit. 1 ounce. More is genuinely not better here. It shifts your fatty acid balance in the wrong direction and undoes part of what you built. Score, 10 out of 10. Now here is your complete daily protocol, the full system. Every single morning, your foundation. 1 ounce raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, 1/4 avocado, half a lemon squeezed over everything. Together, non-negotiable. This is the anchor. Same morning, your omega-3 layer. 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds on yogurt, in a smoothie, on whatever you're already eating. Or 2 tablespoons of freshly ground chia with a fat source alongside it. Hemp if you want 0 preparation and 0 friction. Freshly ground chia if you want higher omega-3 concentration. Pick one, commit to it. Be consistent. 3 to 4 mornings per week, your deep layer. 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flaxseed on the other half of that avocado. Ground fresh, eaten within 15 minutes. That's the window. Once a week, your macular maintenance. Soaked pumpkin seeds, prepared the night before in water with lemon juice. Drained and rinsed in the morning. Small handful on yogurt or a salad. Simple, passive, powerful.